Namaste, aloha friends, welcome back. Day 3, sharing my life with you and how to heal your life. So each day I decided, I'm just gonna make a recording and share it, and whatever comes through me at the moment, I will share, whether it's something that's happening relevant in my life now, or something that has happened in the past that I've learned from, maybe something from my book. So anyway, I shared with you yesterday that I stayed very calm-centered when people with their fear are projecting it onto you, or onto me, and I just felt, wow, this is amazing that I'm not affected by my friend's fear and worry and anxiety that she's projecting on me. And I think part of the path of becoming a self-master, becoming a powerful and empowered being, sovereign and free being able to stand in one's truth, rooted, feeling peaceful and secure and happy and free. It's definitely a journey, and it's took me many years, my whole life, because I was very insecure. I had a lot of insecurity and issues, and came from a place of not feeling loved or worthy, or I had abandonment written in every chapter of my life. Heartache, despair, and abandonment. So if I can transform my life from pain and suffering and numbness, being numb and not even feeling alive or feeling joy or feeling love, that's not a way to live either. To me, sometimes, I'd rather feel angry than feel numb, because numb is just nothing. And that always bothered me. I would say, how come I don't feel anything, I would get angry that I could feel. So, anyway, today I'm feeling a little tired. I don't know why. I felt great all day, and then the afternoon came, and I don't know, just sometimes I just feel like all of a sudden all my energy is, and I can't do anything, and I just want to lie down. And I think there's so much happening energetically now in our world that in the past, like what I used to do was, I was really like a perfectionist. I kind of still am, and hard on myself, and I'd be like, there's no time to rest, and that's lazy, get up and do something. How can you take a nap? Gosh, why are you tired? Like, oh, and I would push myself. Now it's like, if I'm tired, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna honor my body and just lie down, even if I don't go to sleep. I'm just gonna rest. And I never did that before. So when you start to have love for yourself, you start to change your habits and your patterns, and take care of yourself better, and make yourself matter. And you become less critical on yourself, less harsh on yourself, and you don't push yourself like that. I know, sometimes it's like the little things I'm sharing with you, but they're important, and like the little changes in your life might mean like not a big deal, but it is reflective of like important, like for me to like stop my work and stop what I'm doing, and just to be like, you know what, it's okay to be tired, like lie down, do nothing. How about do nothing for an hour? Me, I'm always like, okay, got this book done, that book, video channel, now I'm gonna write my second book. And like my list, and I'm excited because it's work that I love to do, and I have that energy, and I'm like, yeah, and I want to do this paddleboard served, or 10 million things, and sometimes I just have to stop myself and say, you know what, it's okay. How about do nothing for an hour? Change the pattern. So changing patterns is important in your life when you start to try to change your life, because most of us live by our habits. We're not really living by our conscious present moment consciousness. We don't live in the present moment. We're living by our habits, by our subconscious programming. That's why when you get in your car, that's why you can get in your car and drive somewhere and not even remember getting in, starting the car, or the drive to wherever you're going. All of a sudden you're there, you're like, I don't even remember driving here. It's because you've done it so many times and you're on autopilot. You don't remember, right? Does that happen to you? Well, that's called living from your subconscious programming. And it's good, but sometimes it's not so great when we're living by programs that aren't so beneficial to our well-being. Yeah, so, and how do we change? I mean, how do we change our subconscious programming? It's very difficult. When I first started learning about the whole subconscious and our programming, I was like, oh, I gotta change myself. So I would do things like walk in through the outdoor at the supermarket, and if everyone's running around the track, I'd run the opposite way. You know, all I think I did was really annoy a lot of people, piss people off, but I always tried to do things the opposite and change my habits, you know, but I don't think that really works. But I'll give you an example of a simple thing. So remember when years ago when there was a big push to stop using plastic bags at the supermarket and to bring your own reusable bags? Well, how many of us like pull up to the supermarket, went in, did our shopping, get to the cash register and realize, oh, I left my bag in the car, and then you're just like, all right, I'll get it next time. So you use your plastic bags, you go to your car, and you know, and then you do it over and over and over again. And so I was doing that, and then one time I just got annoyed at myself, frustrated enough. I said, you know what? I said to the cashier, I said, I'm just gonna leave my cart here. Whoever can go in front of me, I don't mind waiting online longer. I'm going in my car and I'm getting my bags. So I did that, and I used my own bags instead of getting plastic. And from that point on, I never forgot my bags. And that's because I changed my action. And that's the only way you can change your subconscious. You can't change it if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So you have to first, to make change, lasting change in your life, you have to, one, be aware of the program, of the pattern that's imbalanced or dysfunctional. Be aware of it. Say, okay. So when you're aware of it, you spot it when it happens. You're like, oh, that's happening again. Now, make amends if it's necessary. Say if it's something that maybe you did to somebody else that hurt them, maybe you need to apologize. Or maybe it's just your own thing, so you're aware of it. Then you choose a different reaction and action. You take a different action. And that was the only way that it'll change, that little groove in your brain. These are like grooves in your brain that you're creating every time you do something. You dig a deeper groove and a deeper groove and a deeper groove. But if you take new steps, new action, it changes that groove. And you can change the pattern. And that's like so simplistic, but that's kind of how you do it. So I just wanted to share that grocery bag story with you, and I applied that to my relationships, and I'll get into that in another video. But my relationships is where I always would take out my emotional daggers at the person who loved me so much, you know, showed me this unconditional love, and I self-sabotaged that relationship by using my daggers and my tsunami of emotions onto them, and then eventually they just kind of ran away. And then I would justify my abandonment by saying, look, they abandoned me, but meanwhile I did it to myself, and I did it to them. So I'll share how to take that, changing your patterns in everyday life. Well, how do you change that when it comes to your relationships, which is a little bit harder to do, but it can be done. So just wanted to share